ladies and gents, welcome back. This is going to be part 2 to What If Naruto Had Wood Release. Now, the like goal on this video is going to be 100 likes, because I didn't have one on the last part. That's just because, I didn't really feel like... I don't know exactly why I didn't, but the last part did not have a like goal. So this video is going to have a like goal of 100 likes. Make sure to check out my Discord. I'll leave a link to that in the description. Like and subscribe, and with that being said, let's just get into the actual what if. So, we basically left off with Naruto about to start fighting Kakashi in the Bell test. So, let's get into the new material. So, Naruto starts off by obviously fighting Kakashi. He summons, I don't know exactly how you would put it, but he makes some wood around his hand, basically making some sort of a spear before sending it flying towards Kakashi, who pretty easily dodges out of the way. But he remembers something. He remembers... I don't know what we have, do we actually know the real name of Yamato, or do we just know his, code name? I don't really remember exactly, but basically he just remembers back to that kid in the Anbu who he used to basically be, in the Anbu with, and he's like, wood style, eh? And he's thinking that's pretty interesting, and he's like, this kid must have been through some shit, damn, because he remembers the stories that, Yamato used to tell him and everything like that, and he's like, damn. I don't know exactly what happened to him, but that's kind of creepy. Interesting. And as their fight continues, Kakashi has to get more and more serious as Naruto starts to try more and more. He starts to learn and adapt, because Naruto's never really been in an actual fight before. Or, he's killed people, but that's basically all he's ever done. So, with that being said, Naruto would actually start getting serious in this fight. Kakashi would have to put away his book, and eventually he'd even have to take out a Sharingan. And he's even able to react to all of Naruto's attacks, but slowly but surely, Naruto's adapting in this fight. He's basically using more and more power that he never really realized he had, because he's never been pushed to this point before. Usually it's just, he'd knock him out, and that's all you'd have to do in a battle. But Kakashi's a little bit different. He's a little bit, or not a little bit, but he's a lot stronger than any other opponents he's ever battled before. So, as Naruto basically... And Naruto has control. The wood isn't just, flying over, going towards the nearest enemy, trying to kill it at this point. That's exactly what was happening with the wood before, when Naruto lost control, but Naruto actually knows, control, and he knows how to use this now. So, Naruto ends up making a few shadow clones. They all surround him, or surround Kakashi, and they end up actually managing to trap Kakashi in this thing of wood. Kakashi's trying to escape, he's trying anything he can, then he notices it. His chakra is depleting itself slowly but surely. It's getting suppressed, and he's like, what? He remembers back, and he's just like, yeah, that is one of the powers of wood style, isn't it? He kind of forgot about that, and he dropped his guard, letting himself get caught in this, and he's like, damn, I might actually lose simply because I got caught in this one attack. Usually he'd just easily be able to escape, but he can't use chakra, meaning he can't, enforce his body, or whatever you want to call it. He can't basically escape from this. And he's like, damn, this kid's pretty good. And Naruto would walk up and he'd take the bells. However, Kakashi would basically... Come on. You know the point of the bell test. It was to it was to use teamwork. Not to act... the point of getting the bells was just it wasn't... That's not actually the point. The point was for the leader of the team to all the team members would realize they couldn't do it alone, so they'd have to use teamwork in order to try to do it, basically. But Naruto kind of, defeated that entire purpose, because he was actually strong enough to get the bells on his own. Kakashi's debating what he should do at this point, because he can't just say, you all fail now, because that would completely defeat the purpose of this entire thing, that he basically set up, what he said. So as Kakashi basically debates whether or not he should pass them, Sasuke and Sakura, or, the other two people, they begin to walk out. They begin to basically start talking to... Or not really talking, but they start walking towards Naruto. Sasuke just kind of casually walks forward. He has a little bit of a glare on his face for not really being able to do anything, and Naruto showing that he's stronger than him. But Sakura is doing something a little bit different. She's walking around the field, trying to keep Sasuke between her and Naruto. And if that can't happen, then she'd walk around and put Kakashi in between. She's basically trying to make it so that Naruto wouldn't have a straight path to get to her. Because, she's afraid of stuff like that happening. And sorry if I'm talking a lot quieter right now, because, a bunch of people just walked in. They're like, oh, we have to watch the football game, so they're going to be really freaking loud. And I'm like really annoyed by that, but I don't really care. So, well, I do care, obviously, because I just said I cared, but yeah, whatever. So, so Sakura's basically trying to keep as much distance between herself and Naruto, and as she slowly walks closer, very wary of what's going on around him. And Kakashi notices this, and he just remembers back to the rumors about Naruto. Naruto notices this as well, obviously, and he looks at Sakura. Gives her a bit of a sad look before simply turning around, walking away, not even saying a word. And as he's, walking away, he basically he turns around one last time. He looks at them, and he's just like, I'm never gonna fit in this village. It's just not possible. He walks away now. Not really saying anything else to the rest of his teammates, he just kind of casually walks away. So, as he's walking away, he basically leaves, nobody can see him anymore, basically. And Kakashi puts away his Sharingan now because, he'd be really exhausted by having it out for any longer. And he debates once more, should I pass them or not? And he obviously would come to the conclusion that no, he shouldn't, because everybody hates, or Sakura has this weird fear and hatred towards Naruto, whereas Sasuke does have somewhat of a rivalry with him. It's kind of like, it doesn't really work all too well, because Sakura is still, Sakura. So, as Naruto's doing this, he basically leaves. He goes to Ichiraku's ramen shop, and he tries to get some ramen there. But Ichiraku, he doesn't really like Naruto in this what if, because Naruto killed a bunch of people. He's not just like the kid who's like the outcast anymore. He actually killed a bunch of people in this what if. So he doesn't really like Naruto, and he's just like, no, I'm not giving you ramen. If you want ramen, you just gotta go to your little fast food, quick, make and bake ramen. And Naruto walks away. Even more sad now that he can't even go to his favorite food place anymore. He gets his instant ramen and he cooks it. And Naruto's obviously really sad by this, and he's debating whether or not he should leave the village and just not ever come back. And as he's debating this, Kakashi walks in, and he basically tells Naruto, he's like, you guys didn't pass, you're going back to the academy. Naruto, at this, basically knew exactly what he had to do. He was not going to stay in the village anymore. He was going to leave, and he was now going to have to deal with these people that basically are treating him as such an outcast, treating him as such a monster for, well, they have a reason to do it, but Naruto doesn't care. He doesn't need to see, he doesn't want this to happen. He's just, this makes him really, not great emotionally because, everything like that. So, Naruto walks out of the village. He walks out of the gate, and he just kind of shows off, or not shows off, but he basically bluffs to, the guard, gate people, whatever you want to call them, that he's just going to do some training. So, Naruto leaves the village. Nobody sees him again for a few years, or not a few years, sorry, but nobody sees him again for a while after this moment. With Sasuke and Sakura returning to the academy, they eventually would retake the graduation exam. They'd passed the exam before, being placed on some random team. It doesn't really matter. They aren't really going to have much influence in the story from here on out. Maybe, way later on during, the war arc, Sasuke will do something, but, other than that, he's not going to do much. So, Naruto ends up leaving the village. Now, you may be wondering, what's going to happen with, the Land of Waves place? Well, it'll probably just be a bunch of Chunin who end up going on the mission in the first place. And I'm going to say they successfully do, defeat Zabuza and Haku, everything like that. All of that goes normally. Naruto doesn't really have anything to do with that, neither does Sasuke or Sakura, or maybe even Kakashi at that. So, I cannot talk, sorry. So what's happening with Naruto right now? He left the village, and I haven't really spoken much of him since. So we're going to go basically into the eyes of Naruto at this point. So, with Naruto basically leaving the village, he's trying to figure out where he should go. Because he's been into a lot of, the forest around the Leaf Village, but he knows that is not anywhere near far enough. He needs to go, and he needs to basically, seclude himself somewhere. He needs to figure out where he's going to go. So, as Naruto's walking away, something weird starts happening. Naruto's physical body starts to lighten a little bit, and he starts to feel things around him in weird ways. He's feeling nature. It's such an odd thing to happen. It's what? How is he doing this? And as this basically nature around him, he feels it, and his physical body gets stronger. He gets faster, and he's wondering exactly what's happening to him right now. How is he? What is this thing that he's doing? And that's where I'm going to leave this part off. So I'll see you guys in the next part. Sorry for the short part, but I kind of need to go because they're about to watch a Vikings game, and a game, and they're going to be insanely fucking loud, and I won't be able to record. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace out, bye.